Okay. My day off. Today, I'm going to put together my Portford Rose City cedar shaft arrows. I've already got them linseed oiled to waterproof them. And when I get my dip tank, I'll redo them and I'll dip them in acrylic or a polyurethane to protect them even more. The first thing you're going to do is cut your tapers to where you can fit your nocks and your fill points to the arrow. I use a tapering tool I got off it was either Amazon or Three Rivers Archery. What I do is I cut the fill point first. Then the next thing I do is try and find my other tapering end. But let's get these cut first. And building arrows, it's not that hard. The only hard thing to do is creating the shaft itself. Boy, hey Ted, I think you're right. I need to clean this thing up again. And just to let you know, Ted, you didn't insult me. Every time I do a project or anything like that, this work area gets messed up. Matter of fact, the entire room gets messed up. And that's one of the things I'm going to be doing this weekend is cleaning this room up, getting all the wood shavings off the floor. Then I'll mess it up again. Find something else to do. Either leatherworking, woodworking, or archery related. I'm going to be shutting the camera off here in a minute and find my other piece to my tapering tool. I just had a good idea. I'll just take this end off and put it on the other end. They're 11/32. And I think they're 31 inch. That's what I ordered. Now I'm going to taper the knock end of the shaft. guess I didn't turn the camera off. And before I fletch them, I'm going to hope that doesn't cause a weak point there where the grain runs off the shaft. We'll see. If it breaks and sends a piece of wood in my hand, oh well. That's all part of it. Learn by your mistake. They're not the same length on your tapers. Your fill point end, your point end, is going to be a little bit longer than what your knock end is. Knock end is going to be shorter. That's the reason why there's two different sides to this tapering tool. Let's see. Somebody, I believe, asked how much do they cost. Amazon, right there. And I got them off on Amazon. Orders. Orders. 32-inch, 11/32 diameter, 32-inch length. So, okay, once you got them all tapered, what you do is you find the way the grain's running. It's running this way. And you don't want it running the other way, because you run it the other way, when you shoot it, it's going to flex and possibly break your arrow. So before you glue it on, what I do is I take that little notch, little nub, and I set it straight up and down and let it run against the grain. And your knock, where you set your string in, will go with the grain of the arrow. Heat up my glue. let it set too long. Then you find your mark, set it on, give it a little bit of a twist. And you let it dry. Let it cool down and it sets the knock. Okay, putting on the fill points. Get my 11/32 out. I don't even know what that one is. And these are all 125 grains, 11/32 inch fill points. And it doesn't matter which way the grain's running on these. As long as you get them on there tight. You just run the hot glue all the way around, and always get a little bit on the tip. I don't know why, that's just the way I do it. I guess it's just habit. Now you can use like super glue and glue these on, but the thing about that, you'll never get them off again. These, all you do is take your lighter, heat up the fill point, not the wood, just the fill point. Take your pliers, give it a twist, it'll pop right off. Okay. I couldn't find my fletching tape. I got some new fletching tape on order. So I pulled out an old fletching jig. It's a 6 feather, 6 arrow fletching jig. I got this given to me by a buddy. He inherited it from his dad, who was a big archer, bow hunter, competition shooter, and he didn't have a use for it. He doesn't do his own arrows. He goes and pays somebody else to do them. Now he gives them to me, and I refletch them for him. I don't know what the name or the brand name of this is, but it's a really old fletching jig. I say old, it may be like 80s, early 90s, but it really does a good job. You can adjust the helical on them. You can either put a straight fletch on it, or put a small helical or a large helical. And I used left wing feathers, which means if you take the feather and look at the back of it, then look at the way the quill is, it looks like an L. That's left wing. And on these, I put more of a helical on them, more of a twist. I'm going to see how well that works out. If it don't, I'll just redo it. I'll pull the feathers off and redo them. I've got a small barrel full of feathers, and I got them to waste right now to play around with, to try different things. So I'll get back with you when I get them all fletched. Okay, that took a little bit because I don't have any fletching tape. I glued on the fletchings. Just a little bit more of a helical, but not a whole lot more. Just a little bit of twist. Personally, I don't like a whole lot of a twist to my fletchings. Due to the fact that it slows them down. The more of a twist you put into them, the slower your arrow is going to get. Well, the more your arrow is going to get slowed down. And I like that arrow to get to the deer, squirrel, well, rabbit, as fast as I can get it there. Keep them from jumping the arrow. All except for squirrels. This is what I use for squirrel hunting, which I haven't been this year. Just haven't had the time. And what this is a spiral wrapped flute, which slows the arrow down quite a bit. It'll slow down so much it won't go 20 yards, 25 at the most, before it starts dropping to the ground. Easier to find your arrows when you're shooting squirrels out of a tree or something like that. But I got these 6 made up. These 2, which that one almost matches those 6, but I put a pink feather on this one. Cock feather. So, and that's a straight, almost a straight fletched arrow. Now on my compounds, I will put a helical on them because they travel a lot faster than a traditional arrow does. My outlaw shoots, what was it, 280, 270, 280, maybe 290 feet per second. And that's pretty fast. The crossbow I had shot just barely over 300 feet per second. If I max my compound out, it's supposed to go 300 feet, 310, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it's right around 300 feet per second. if I max the bow out in poundage. And that reminds me, I'm going to have to get it down, maintenance it. I haven't shot it since last deer season. And yes, I do deer hunt with it. I've got 4 more arrows to go. And all I did to them was, I haven't dipped them or anything. I linseed oiled them. And that'll water protect them. But it doesn't stop you from gluing fletchings on. And yes, these were 32-inch, 11/32, and they ran me for a dozen. Let's see. $41.55. So did a little calculation here. Bear shaft, they cost me $3.47 a shaft. $3.47. And these with the nocks and the piles, the fill points, about $5.75 an arrow. Still a lot cheaper than going out and buying them already done. All it does is it takes your time to do it. And I enjoy doing it. So, tomorrow I'll go out, shoot them, play with them, and just have fun. That's all I got for you today. Keep the arrows flying, have fun, be safe at it.